Hey, good afternoon. It's Friday. Here's your recap for the week. Pretty volatile with every forecast that comes out. Sales, export sales from last week were pretty light. They were better than last week's numbers, obviously, because we had negative numbers last week, but still not great. We're just moving with every forecast that comes out every 4 hours or whatever that number is. So, I mean, we'll kind of look at that in a shorter term chart here in a bit. But got December corn up here, and we've been talking about the downtrend, and when we still believe we're in a downtrend. It's just a matter of how much are these rebounds how far can they go, and kind of what levels we're looking at as far as kind of critical numbers. As you can see, if our wave counts as 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this 4 can't, if it gets up into here, past here, can't get into wave 1. So if this is a true wave 4, then this will be the top. If it gets into here, it gets pretty interesting that it really becomes almost more bearish unless you can really rebound and get up into here. So what I'd really like to point out is the levels here of this 550 level, and the reason is you've got these numbers in here, this resistance in here, you've got resistance in here, and coming off the down move from here to here, this is also a 38% retracement, and you've got our daily cloud over here. So any type of weakness or rollover from here, we're probably heading lower to new lows. Be my suggestion right at this moment. Obviously, if we get above 550 and above the daily cloud, we'll probably have a different stance. The only really bullish thing I think a lot of guys are looking at is this inverted head and shoulders here, which we broke the neckline of, and that does count. The way you count that is from this line to the bottom here, and then add that on top, and that does count up to this 682 level, which actually would be the top of this trend channel from the high over last April in 22, and also closer to the 62% retracement of this. So if we do get up in there, definitely if we break this, we're going to make sure to try to capture some of this move, but we will be watching for any reversals up in here and reversals at this 550 level, because obviously if we get some wet rains going into the ice states, even forecasts of upcoming rains pretty quick, I think this thing's going to roll over pretty hard, as we've been discussing for a long time. The July contract, this actually has a little bit of a head and shoulders too right through here, which we haven't even broke the neckline because it's an upward neckline. Put that on right there. We kind of tested it, broke it, but didn't close above it, and it's also 62% retracement up against the daily cloud. So lot of things to really chew through for the July corn contract to really get moving. It can, not saying it can't, but we'll sure watch Monday. I think Monday is going to be a pretty critical to see if we can get follow through to the upside here, or if we're going to kind of roll this thing back over, and a lot of that's going to be on the rain. I mean, it's not hard to predict it's hard to predict what the weather's going to say, but it's not hard to predict what the action's probably going to be, depending on the forecast for that. And when we talk about volatility, I'm going to pull up the 30-minute chart and show you what happened today. It's pretty insane. This was 7 o'clock this morning, and with each dryness weather thing that came out, this thing was just bumping hard, and it just went flat out crazy, right? About 11 o'clock, I think, about 11, it just got really going. So it's pretty insane the volatility we got going on in the corn market with these weather forecasts. Soybeans, here's the July contract, and again, this isn't a downtrend. I mean, we can't ignore that this is in a downtrend, but where do we think what might happen? Obviously, we can't be working a 4 here on the daily. But what we could be doing is you have a 1, 2, a 3, and you might be working a 4, a 5 of 3 yet. So obviously, if we get above our line, which is at 1360, which that, if we're going to do it, it'll be Monday, I would guess. But you also have this 38% retracement of this move down here, and that runs into all this resistance in here as well at 1380. So there is a little bit of an air pocket between, where we closed today and 1380. So it wouldn't surprise me if we get another run. That, of course, might depend on the weather forecast. So we'll just kind of have to watch what happens going into the first part of next week. November beans, not as great, as strong as action as like the corn, December corn contract. It's, still a downtrend. Wave 3, we talk about the wave 4 can't get into this and be a wave 4 on the daily. So, it could reset it to be a 1, 2, and that makes it more bearish. So, where it can, maybe we're kind of doing what we talked about 4. Maybe we had a 1, 2, 3, working a 4, and then a 5 of 3 may be coming. So we're not getting too over bullish with the action today. We actually held this little downtrend line that's been happening for a little bit. So it's kind of interesting that kind of showed up today. Well, it's kind of been a little bit, but it kind of showed up when it bounced off that right at the end of the market today. If we can get through that and maybe, you got a little bit resistance back here at 1216 and you got our line at 1210, maybe we may want to take a shot at some reownership of any of our new crop sales. But I think that's going to be fairly limited because you got the 38% retracement up here at 1250. You've got this in here at 1250, all this resistance. And unless we get just completely dry and the rain runs out in the ice states, then we'll go higher. That's probably not even a question. Going to go ahead and pull up the wheat, Kansas City wheat. I think that this is just more of a following what's happening in the corn market. Just kind of, we had that big run up. We pretty much took the whole thing out, and now we're rebounding. Really kind of critical levels all in here. You got our line, which is pretty much at the bottom of the daily cloud. 38% retracement of this move is right in this area too, in the 822 to 827 range. If we're truly going to keep rolling this thing over, I would expect it to bounce off this and go lower. If we break through it, now we have a different conversation, and we're maybe looking to re-own some crop, old crop stuff, but it's going to be hard since we couldn't hold $9 with all the news we had just 2 or 3 weeks ago, and now we're importing wheat from Europe because of the they're trying to dump the wheat they've taken in from Ukraine. We've got the highest by far wheat price in the world, and you got all kinds of supply coming online in the Black Sea region. We got our harvest coming. I know it's not good, but we do have our harvest coming, and then from then on, it's just continual wheat supply from there. As you get into Argentina and Australia later in the fall. So just kind of watch this. You definitely, if you don't have anything on, if he needs to sell some wheat, if we start to see this roll over in here, it's probably a good time to get rid of it or sell some. If we blow through this thing, then we're going to want to hold it for a little bit and see what happens. So that's kind of what we're looking at. If you have any questions, please let us know. We are always happy to help and reach out. That's the other thing I want to discuss right here at the moment is we are, if these things start rolling over, the whole complex is going to roll over, and we've really got to start thinking about 24, about getting some of that hedged if we roll over any of the new crop stuff, especially. And if you want to be involved with, these MPPs that we're setting up with the Andersons, please reach out, because there is a little bit of paperwork. It's not bad. We can do it by DocuSign even, and so we can get your name involved, get your name in, and we can make sure everything gets approved. So when we do need to pull the trigger, we can pull that trigger. So if you have any questions, give us a call. Have a great weekend, and talk to you Monday.